So your first step obviously is going to be putting your solar panel where you want it. So either on the roof of your little trailer or angled towards the sun on the ground. Here, as you can see, I have opted for laying them flat on the trailer roof. This will decrease wattage a little bit by not having them angled towards the sun, but it will also make them a lot less likely to fly away from the wind. And so your next step is going to be to locate the connectors and find the positive and negative cables. One will have a tiny little plus on it to help you locate which is which. You will also need to buy an extension for these cables, and you would just need to look for something that says solar connector ends. And it's likely it will have, since it will be an extension cable, it will be on both ends. And later you will just cut off one set of the ends and then strip a little bit of that wire, leaving you an area to put into your solar charge controller. And you can see my extension cable right here running down my trailer and into the back of my trailer. And as I walk into the front of the trailer, you can see it has this little cubby space, and here is my cable already with the ends cut off coming into my cubby space. The next thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is get your solar charge controller and mount it to where you need it. I'm going to go ahead and mount mine on the inside because I'm not too concerned about needing to be able to read the readings all the time or use these USB connectors on the front that you have access to. Then put your battery or batteries in your compartment, and then you will be on to the wiring and most important part. Now located right here, you can see a little battery symbol, and that will be your battery, your positive and negative set going to your battery. And then you will see over here a little solar panel, and that will be your wires, your positive and negative going to your solar panel. And then off to the right over here, this will be your load, and this will be your positive and negative if you want to wire them directly to a specific item and use that. But this is the most important part of the entire thing, and this is the only part that you can screw up because you can break the solar power controller. You have to hook up the solar power controller to the battery first. It first needs to read the battery source instead of all that sun energy coming in, or you'll break the solar charge controller. Locate the negative terminal, like I am here, that goes to the battery. So find the battery and find the minus and hook that up to whether you're going to use little clamps like I'm using here, or whether it's going to have like a washer on the end that just screws down to the battery. Get your cable ready and hook up your negative terminal to your battery. And then locate your positive or red cable, and then locate the battery and the plus sign, and hook up your cable to that little set screw and tighten that down like I have here. And one thing, try to make sure that the area that you have stripped on the cables from the area on both the positive and the negative, make sure that those bare wires are not touching each other and that they stay away from each other. These wires here are for the trailer itself and for the lights and the exhaust fan and such, the positive and negative. So if you have those, you're going to want to attach those. And if you have a trailer like this switch will be a setting for off, and one for the battery, and one for conventional power. Now it's going to be time to hook up the cables that you just hooked up to your solar charge controller to your battery, and your solar charge controller should turn on as soon as you do so and show you the voltage of your battery. Start by hooking up the negative cable first always, and then hook up the positive cable. And if you look over there at the charge controller, you can see it starting to turn on and show me the voltage of the battery. When you get new batteries, it's always a best practice to put them on a battery charger and make sure they're fully charged before you hook them up. Now just locate your positive and negative cables from your solar panel and hook them up into the charge controller now that your battery has been hooked up. And then now would be a good time to go ahead and put your power inverter in that you're going to be able to plug your power tools in and have the wattage capability to run those tools. Put that in and then go ahead and hook up the positive clamp to the positive and the negative clamp to the negative. It's really as simple as that. You know, you just make sure you hook the positive to the positive, plus to the plus, negative to the negative all the time, and it should be fine. Just always make sure that you always make sure that the first and last thing hooked up to the solar charge controller is always the battery, and you'll be good to go. That's it.